Our next guest played at all levels. Stanford All-American, played pro. He's a coach. He's got his own tennis academy now in Florida, and he's still getting out there competing at these pro events at the young age of 44 years old. Let's say hello to Ryan Haviland. Ryan, thank you for joining us. You got myself, Jeff, Sloan Stevens, Tracy Austin, Nick Monroe. How's your week going? We know that you're spending a lot of time on court. Are you also watching some tennis as well?
Yeah, I was checking you guys out right now. Thanks a bunch for having me. I mean, it's an honor and a pleasure. I watch especially these interviews all the time that you guys do, and they're very inspiring, and I love them. So happy to be a part of it. And I'm actually back. You said the academy in Florida. I just played a tournament in Florida. Yeah. I'm actually at my academy in Greenville, South Carolina right now. So I'm back home.
Ryan, yeah, walk us through that a little bit. I know last year you qualified, you got your ATP point, and then this year you went and played in Vero, qualified, got in as a lucky loser, but lost 6-4 in the third. But walk us through that. I mean, you're still at 44 years old playing. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, so that wasn't the exact story. The exact story, yeah, I got in the second round of qualies, I had like 5-6 set points. Blew it, so that was frustrating. Lost. Got in as a lucky loser. First time in my life, 22 years. I've been playing on and off for that. I was at the bottom line, so I was down 1-5, love 30 in the third set. I battled all the way back. I was up 6-5, 30 all, 2 points from the match, losing in a third set tiebreaker. So it was a little more heartbreaking than you even portrayed there. Yeah. But this is, there's several reasons why I'm back doing it again. I had one. So, long story short, early 20s, I've had 11 different surgeries. Yeah. I was told at 22 years old I'd never play again. Grade 4 cartilage defects in my knees. Had microfracture, this ACI surgery, the surgeries that no athletes have ever come back from that I'm aware of, at least. Yeah. Professional athletes in any sport. And I made it back, and I did some pretty amazing things back after 10 years off on the tour at 35 and 36. I got back, like a lot of you guys know UTR rankings. I was UTR 15, which is typically top 100 players in the world. Yeah. And I beat a couple top 100 current players, and NCAA singles champ and NCAA singles semifinalists, 3 of them. And I did all this.
Who was it? Who did you beat?
2 top 10 in the world juniors. So top 100 player at Winston-Salem Open Qualies 2016 or 17. I beat Dahmer Zoomer when he was 80 something in the world. Yeah. I beat him 3-2. A few months later, he got 30 in the world.
Yeah, that guy can.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and I only throw this out there just to share the story. Like, listen, you guys, I have so much respect for what you guys have done. You guys are amazing. I mean, I'm a very pedestrian tennis player, to be clear. But what I was proud of was going out there at 36 years old, full-time teaching pro at that point for 13 years. I've had my academy now for 11, and just battle. I train 3 or 4 days a week with our local kids. But I think it's a testament of not giving up, not quitting. So I played also Francis Tiafoe in 2016 at the Kerry Challenger.
Oh, nice.
He was 90 in the world, 90 at the my and I was up 5-2 in the third, had 6 match points. Aced him on one of them, which he will tell you. I got robbed, got overruled. It was hard. My kids were watching live streaming on the Challenger. It was heartbreaking. I beat 2 of, I was saying, top 10 juniors in the world at the time, Kozlov and Michael Moe. Back then in 2017, and I beat, the NCAA singles champion a month after he won it, Ty Kwiatkowski, and a couple of the semifinalists. So anyway, long story short was, I did that then, and then I've had another, 7 or 8 years off, more surgeries, all this, and just to be able to come back, like I said, to be clear, I'm a coach. I'm not a pro tennis player, but I love it. I'm getting to do what I wish more people could experience. I'm getting out there and playing now. Not playing for money, of course. I'm not playing to be as a career. I'm just doing it for the love of the game. And, the competition, losing like I did last week in Vero Beach is still as painful as it ever was. But, man, it's a blast. Beautiful. It really is. I mean, of course, I wish I was there at Madrid like those guys. But, just to get out there and still play and stay fit, it's awesome.
And, Ryan, how do you adapt your game to be able to move and compete with these players that are, say, 20 years younger? It's got to be a little bit different from when you were that age as well.
Yeah, it's impossible. I learned that hard last week, actually. It's one thing when I'm at home playing with kids, playing one day. I mean, I think most people can play good one day. In a tournament, you got to play day after day, and it kills me. So I'm literally relearning. We can't run around and rally and cover the court like these kids. Even if I do it for one day, I'm done. The next, my legs are shot a couple days later. It's just, that's the cruelty of age, So bottom line is, you have to come in. You have to play old school tennis, which is fun because no one really plays like that anymore. And I think most of the kids aren't used to seeing it.
First of all, Ryan, congratulations. The wins that you've talked about, those are some big wins, really impressive. And what memories to put yourself back into kind of the hot seat again. But I want to talk to you. Were comfortable with the academy. When did the penny drop that, okay, I'm going to make this journey of trying to train? The training must be a lot because there's a big difference between a touring coach and going out and playing. When did you make that, and where did you get that inspiration?
Yeah, so my inspiration was from my childhood coaches. So I played a lot of sports growing up, high school baseball, track, cross country, and tennis. All of my coaches in all of those sports were significantly better than us high school kids. Like my 2 tennis coaches growing up in juniors were in their mid to late 20s, fresh off the tour, 200 in the world. I mean, this is something that people can't appreciate watching TV. The level of the play, like when you're a hotshot junior or a decent local college player, and you play someone like 200 in the world, I mean, they kill you. I mean, it's unbelievable, the level. And so that, as a kid, I was so inspired by my coaches. And so as a coach, which I started doing in 2004 full time, I want to be that same inspiration. I don't want to talk the talk and be an armchair quarterback. I want to still beat the kids. And that's why the only reason I've kept playing this long is because I'm a coach. I have a racket in my hand every day, 6 days a week. So that's why I do it. And that was the inspiration. And you asked about my training. Now listen, my training is hitting with local juniors 3 days a week for an hour and a half. It's my training. And that's why I was so proud of what I did at 36 years old.
Awesome.
Playing these guys. And that's what gave me the hope to come out. But let me shout out one thing that people aren't aware of, which is the Futures Tour these days and Futures qualifying. I mean, listen, I just watched Houston a couple weeks ago. I'm watching Colton Smith in the quarters. I just played him a year and a half ago in the qualifying of the Notre Dame 15K Futures. Like I've played multiple UTR 13 and a half guys in Futures qualifying. People don't realize the level. You guys talk about parity in the top 100 or top 300, and it's amazing. But the parity, I can't even believe. I thought I was going to come back out here at 44 and clean up, in Futures qualifying. Listen to me. Respect to these players. It is unbelievable how deep the game is these days.
Yeah, it's almost like daunting in a way for people trying to make it. It's crazy. Hats off to you as well. Like
Can
Tracy
I have
said.
one more question if you don't have one? You go ahead.
No, he has the.
Okay.
Go.
Trace.
No, this is a dumb question, but I have no idea. Can anybody play the Futures? I mean, can you play Futures qualifying? I mean, can Chiz tomorrow, if we have one locally in Long Beach, can he go sign up and play? I want to watch him.
Let me say one thing that's disappointing from the USTA. It used to be that way. It used to have 128 quality draws. And as a coach, I hate this because when we were kids, all of us could go play. You could go 14, 15, 60-year-old men. You could go play. Now they've cut all the qualifying draws down to 32, and most of the players are foreigners. It is unbelievably hard to get in. You've got to get a wild card. I had to win a wild card tournament to be able to get the opportunity to play a Futures qualies again. And there's not many. There's only a few of those. So what's amazing about our sport is, yes, anyone can play. But what I hate now is they have cut it to where basically you have to have a wild card to get started. And again, forget me. I hate this for the kids.
I do have a question about, you said that you love hitting with your juniors and the younger players. When I was coming up, I basically took lessons with someone who only hit with us, and we always would play like baseline games, and like the competition was between the coach and I, and we would play all these games and do all this stuff. Are you doing that still? Like, are you actually like running down balls, playing approach pass, like doing all the drills, like very into it? Like, is that what you're doing currently now?
I'm hitting with 15 and 16-year-old kids. That's my training to go play these pros.
So good.
Okay, because I'm like, I love that.
That's what I believe in.
Yeah, and I think it's also so good for kids because when I was coming up, my coach had a one-handed backhand, and he sliced everything. So I love playing players who slice because it's like the best thing ever. The ball's coming slow. It's like it's beautiful. So I wonder, like, if the players playing with you, like your juniors, are you giving them anything different? Because like you said, like you have play a different game style because obviously the kids are much younger and they're whatever, what have you. But do you think that you're like showing them a different game style?
Yeah, our academy is so unique in that I'm not the only one. We've had junior Orange Bowl champions, George Morgan, one of my coaches right now, Ash Hewitt. He's got tour level wins over Dominic Thiem, Borna Chorich, Cecchinato. I mean,
I played juniors with both of them. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
And so, Lauren Herring.
Yeah, of course. She lives in Greenville. Yes. She comes out and plays with some of our kids.
She was like Lauren Herring, Debbie Harry. Shout out to them. Some of my favorite people. Amazing. You have a great. I need to come there.
You got to slice. You got to break out the slice.
It's so unique because all of us still play.
That's so awesome. Like I said, I played juniors with them, so it's so awesome to see. And Lauren actually sent me a picture of Ash Hewitt the other day. They were playing pickle, I think. So that must be at your place.
Yeah. I have not got into pickle yet. No. I'm still on the tennis courts, but yeah. Once I can't run anymore, then maybe.
Then you'll go to pickle. I respect it.
Ryan, you were such a baller at Stanford as well, All-American. We had Jeff Salzenstein on yesterday. How did Stanford shape your career and thought process as far as moving up in the juniors and on the tour?
Yeah, first of all, I appreciate the compliment, but it's not true. I was not a baller in college.
You were All-American. A lot of people haven't been an All-American in college.
All-American.
I mean, and didn't you make the semifinals of singles, NCAA singles? That's good. A lot of people haven't done that. Yes. Come on now.
And was up a break in the third on Jesse Whitman cramps. It's crushing.
That's baller. What are you talking about?
Oh, but still, you still remember
if
the
anything
scars.
can learn anything, it's just coming back. That's my whole thing. I can't talk tennis like you guys, man. I haven't achieved anything that you guys have achieved. But the one thing that I have done is dealt with a lot of injuries and made a lot of comebacks and just never quit, never put the racket down. And that's what I'm proud of. And you asked about Stanford. Yeah, I played for a legend, Dick Gould and John Whitlinger. We won our last national championship in 2000 while I was there. We were ranked #1 at some point during all 4 years when I was there. It was an honor. It was a pleasure. I played with some amazing players, and it was a great experience.
What did you learn from Dick Gould to kind of help your coaching now, and what are some of the core values that you're instilling in your academy here at the Haviland Tennis Academy?
Yeah, I mean, patience. Dealing with a bunch of hotshot college kids who think they're really good, like it's not easy. And I'm not dealing with college kids. I'm dealing with juniors. Yeah. But patience. Yeah. He was incredibly patient. He let us make mistakes. He let us do our thing. And I try to, as much as I can, I try to get that across with my kids as well. Yeah. And let them make their own mistakes. Teach them what we can, primarily by example, by talking. But you've got to let them do their own journey.
And then, Ryan, how about the parents? Is that sometimes an issue? I mean, can they kind of override, and you maybe need to teach them a few lessons as well about how to deal with their kids and the competition? And that's A. And then B, all these kids, I'm sure they dream of, is that you?
Look at that.
That's you.
That's a Stanford baller if I've ever seen one.
Freshman year of college? Come on.
That's a Stanford baller.
I love that. So talk about the parents and then also the dreams of your kids. I'm sure so many of them want to become college players.
Yes. Parents, I think the legitimacy of what I'm doing, like still beating all the kids all the time. I take pride in that. And they still see me beating some of these college players and juniors and pros. For the most part, they don't. I'm pretty lucky. Most of them don't question what I'm doing. I'm still out there. I'm not talking about what I did 25 years ago. Mm-hmm. I'm showing them I understand the current game, and I'm still in the trenches. So, I've been pretty lucky with parents, frankly, and I'm lucky too. I don't work at a club. We have our own academy, so I don't have to deal with a lot of nonsense. Basically, I just get to work with the passionate kids.
Yeah. I like that you papped in.
And what did you ask? Sorry.
About I'm sure a lot of your kids, they dream of going to college. Can you help them with that journey? Because I always tell kids, they're looking for 4.5 scholarships on the men's side, 8 scholarships on the women's side. If you can differentiate yourself and make yourself available to these colleges, it gets you into a college that you normally couldn't get into with just your academics.
Absolutely. That's me. I would have never got into Stanford on academics alone.
That's right.
I was, at the time, the top 1 or 2 recruits, and that's how I got in.
And you were a threat to win a national championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But tennis opened so many doors for me. It gave me this career. It gave me my college scholarship. It gave me, a lifetime sport. It gave me a lot of my lifetime friendships. So it gave me everything. So, as far as the kids, absolutely. What I've learned as a coach, and this goes back to Dick Gould, even on a national championship winning team, you have all different people with all different goals. Some people just want to, go to med school. Some people want to try to be, top 100 ATP pro. And most people are somewhere in the middle, and with kids, you have everything. What I've learned as a coach is to not put my aspirations or goals on them.
100%.
Whether they're a high school JV player or whether they're an aspiring pro, it's just to help them achieve their goals, make them better every day. That's it.
That's what I tell parents. I think parents oftentimes I see, because I've gone through juniors myself and then with my kids, is that oftentimes they're putting their dreams on their kids. And it's, you know what, listen a little bit more to what the kid wants and where they want to take it.
Yeah, this sport is such a long journey. They've got to want it themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had Jimmy Arias, who's the director of player development at IMG. He was kind of saying the same thing. I love what you guys are preaching. More on the junior tennis, because everyone knows, like, there's some yucky parts to junior tennis. And we touched upon the parents, and like,
You mean like cheating?
well, I'm going to get into that. A big part of it is cheating. Like, kids call their own lines. There's even scores and lets, whatever. Unfortunately, it's part of the game. How do you approach that yucky part of junior tennis? Like, is it one of those things where like, don't get involved with it, let's work on the tennis? Or do you have to lean into it and kind of preach the correct ways of sportsmanship with that stuff with your kids?
Yeah, I try to basically avoid it. I mean, there's no solution to it right now. I've heard you guys propose, or I think Andy Roddick's podcast talking about having play site or, junior electronic line calling. That'd be great. But look, we can't do anything about it. So let's not worry about it. The cream rises to the crop. The best players will still get up there, even though they might get cheated out of nationals or some other match. Let's just get better. Let's this is the beauty too of the ranking systems like UTR and like tennis recruiting and now the ITF World Tennis Number. It doesn't go by how many points you accumulate at junior tournaments and easy draws. It just looks at who have you beat, who have you lost to. And so fine, maybe you get cheated out of 1 or 2 matches on your record, but overall, it's not going to define how good you are as a player. It's not going to hurt your chances to get into college. It's not like, oh, they cheated you at Kalamazoo and now you don't go as far and so you don't get a scholarship, which was like when me and Nick grew up. Now it's like you've got these rankings that go by, your results over a whole year. So I just try not to get tied up into it.
What?
We got to ignore it.
You know what, Ryan? That's
great
great for the kids that are so self-motivated. But for those kids that are just kind of on the bubble and maybe not as motivated, I unfortunately saw so many kids leave tennis because in baseball, I had 3 boys. In baseball, there's an umpire. In basketball, there's a umpire, I think, is it called? What's it? Referee. So each one, there's somebody there. Tennis, it's a 10-year-old you calling 10-year-old me, and we can call our lines any way we want. You come out one time when there's a bad call, and then they stay for 2 games, and then they're gone. I think the USTA and all the sections could do a better job by having more referees, because I think we would keep the people, the young kids, in the game for longer. So that's when you're on the SCTA board.
I was going to say, I think we got a spot on the board.
Yeah, so he's on the board, and I think you need to bring this up because there's different levels of kids that enjoy it. My 3rd kid got cheated so badly the first 3 tournaments, he's like, I don't want to do this. This is not fun.
Same thing happened to me.
Yeah.
I was out.
And it's unfortunate because the game is such a beautiful game. I'm placing you on this, Ryan, but I hope you can teach the parents that, guys, we're building people here. We're build good sportsmanship because you and you and you probably will never be Wimbledon champions, so why don't we build good people?
Yeah. Well said.
Could not agree with you more. I mean, you're spot on. And you're talking about something I don't have control over. I wish so badly the USTA would have more referees. They do that to us at these futures and qualifying. The umpire stays 2 games.
Yeah.
What is that going to do? They're going to go right back to cheating again.
Yeah.
So, I could not agree with you more. At futures and in junior events, you should have enough umpires where they can stay and watch a match if need be.
Yep.
Ryan, so much of tennis, as we talk about all the time, is mindset. We're talking about Taylor Fritz and how he practiced for 5 days, and he just did so well here in Madrid, winning his first round already. You had 11 surgeries, 5 on each knee, 1 on the elbow. Was there one that maybe you thought, you know what, this is probably it, I'm done playing tennis, but you just kept coming back? But was there one moment where it maybe hit you where you said, okay, I don't know if I can come back from this one?
Yeah, I mean, at 22 years old, right after, this is a real shame. Again, 22 years old, right after college, I beat the NCAA singles champion Amir Delic and semi'd or finaled at the Futures. I qualified and semi'd at a Challenger. In 3 months, I got 500 in the world in singles and 300 in doubles. Everything was going great. And then I start having debilitating knee pain, and I go in and find out I have grade 4 defects in my kneecaps. And 2 different doctors that are world-class surgeons said, you're not going to play tennis again. And so, I thought it was over.
Wow.
22.
Wow.
And here I am now at 44.
Let's go.
And actually, my knees feel amazing. I've had other injuries. I just had an ab pull like Taylor Fritz, and then last fall I fractured my wrist. I've been trying to play hurt this year. It's been annoying. My point is, again, I just want to inspire people of when doctors tell you this or when they say you're too old, man, the body is resilient. Learn about diet, learn about periodized training and slowly building back. And you can come back from just about anything.
Yeah. Ryan, are you going to be playing anything coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm planning on going to Orange Park and get back out there in the qualies of futures again next week. You're starting on Monday.
Nice.
Unbelievable. I think one of the matches you touched upon, I think I read it, you went 3 hours and 20 minutes. Like, no joke. Like, the next day, like, did you get out of bed? Like, come on.
How do you feel?
This is a problem. This is a problem because I don't really do physical training. Of course, I go to the gym and I lift weights, but I'm not training 3 or 4 hours a day with pros pushing my body like this. The real soreness kicks in 2 days later. But yeah, I'm still limping around a little bit right now after 3 days in a row of tough matches on clay, especially I haven't played on clay in months. The sliding, the groins, listen, the physical side of it is a challenge, and it's a delicate balance for me at this age. If I train too much, of course, I'll get injured. But if I don't train enough, I get really, really sore at the tournament. So, I'm still learning. I'm 44 years old. I'm not done learning about this game, the tactics, the technique, and how to manage my body.
So, Ryan, you're doing the futures right now, but there's also things called national 40s, national 50s, and we know Peter Smith is so good. I don't know he's probably in the 50s now. But does that interest you in the future? And also, there's so many great, get a gold ball, get a silver ball. There's so many other international tournaments where you can represent the United States and play on teams. Is that something that you might look forward to in the future?
Not really. To be honest, as a coach,
what's the pro level?
My kids are so, I encourage tennis fans to go out and check out these local futures. We're in Vero Beach last week. Amazing tournament run by Tom Fish, Marty Fish's dad, Randy Walker. Incredible tournament they put on. You've got top international juniors there. You've got college players there. It's a spectacle of tennis. And my kids love seeing me play these people. Me playing some 45-year-old man is not the same for my business and my academy, and even I'm
I'll
still
let
a very
Peter Smith know
person.
that.
Again, I wasn't at you guys' level. But I want to play the best. I want to try to play the pro guys, not 45-year-olds, at least yet.
Yeah, that's what I said. At least not yet. Maybe in the future, Ryan. Leave the door open.
Maybe.
Yeah, Ryan.
I'm trying. I'm just getting started with this, though. Trust me.
No, I love it. I love that he's going
and
playing next week in Orange Park. I mean,
Orange Park, Florida, right?
Orange Park, Florida. But I agree with you. I mean, the level is so high. The 300s, 400s, 500s, 600 guys in the world are so good.
900s.
And 900s. And people don't know that, right? So I agree with you, Ryan. They need to go check out the qualities of the futures, main draw, everything.
Free. You can get right up on the court. I mean, it's cool going to the U.S. Open. That's a spectacle. Celebrities, the big lights. But if you want to see incredibly high-level tennis, right there for free, right under your nose, go out to a local challenger qualifying, futures. It's amazing.
We need to play a doubles tournament. We need to get a wild card somewhere and take these young guys on.
I know, seriously. That's what I said. I'm not quite ready for doubles yet either.
I was just going to say that. Ryan's like
singles and doubles.
Ryan, are you married? Your intensity is off the charts. Are you married and have kids?
I'm not married, and I think you can probably see why.
Ryan, we love the story.
You're the
we
man.
also love the insight, learning more about you. Congrats on all the success, and of course, the Academy. Thanks for joining us. And now we say goodbye to a man that's 44 years old with a ranking point. Congrats.
Let's go. You're the man. Good luck next week, Ryan.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you, guys. It was a real pleasure.
Appreciate it. Keep it going.